Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first ever YouTube channel and I have just been really inspired by the personal finance and budgeting videos I've seen on YouTube. And I just wanted to join in. I think it'll be really good for helping me keep on track, helping us kind of get out of these patterns of behavior that we're in a lot when it comes to our spending. And I have some savings goals, some debt payoff goals, and I just really excited to use this as a way to kind of keep myself on track and kind of join in with all the other awesome stories, inspirational stories and channels I see on here of people paying down their debt and achieving their goals. So this is going to be a video about kind of my debt confession, where we are at right now debt-wise. In later videos, I'll also go into kind of our current savings levels, our goals when it comes to savings, and hopefully even kind of get into monthly budgeting and tackling our problem areas when it comes to budgeting for the month. So those are my goals. I'm super excited. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So let's go ahead and get started. So as a little bit of background, we are a family of four. I'm married with two little kids in elementary school. We also have a dog. We have spent the last, 10 or 12 years moving initially from my hometown to high cost of living in the Northeast of the United States for some time, and then we moved to a high cost of living area on the West Coast for some time, and we just moved back to our home to be close to all of our family very recently. Like this is the beginning of May. We moved at the end of February. So all that to say, and then in the process of living in high cost of living areas, we also had two kids. In the past, we have had a high debt balance that we paid off. Having two kids in daycare, high cost of living before COVID, was definitely took a toll on our budget. We weren't really prepared. We ran up basically a total debt of around $25,000 in credit card debt. That was completely paid off probably back in 2018. We paid off that completely off to zero. And then through COVID, my husband was out of work for a little while. We ran up another balance in credit card debt, not as high. I think it was like a total of $10,000, maybe $7,000. And then I did a balance transfer to pay that down quickly. That's not 100% paid off yet. And then we made the decision to move cross country to be close to family again. So the process of moving was also expensive. So our credit card balances are high again, more than I'm comfortable with. So my main goal, I have two main goals. The first one obviously is to pay the debt off again and get to $0 credit card balance so I can really start funneling money into our savings accounts. And then my second goal is eventually we'd like to buy a house. We've never been homeowners before. We've always been renting in high cost of living areas. We're back in my hometown, which is a little bit of a lower cost of living area in the Southeast. Still kind of pricey depending on the area that you're in. Obviously with two kids, we want to be in area with Sorry about that. Obviously, with two kids, we want to be in an area, with good schools and all that. So it tends to be a little more pricey that way. But we are figuring it out. Right now, we're renting still. My main goal is really just to get out of debt and really get into a healthier financial situation. And to do that, we need to kind of start confronting some of our bad habits. Some of it, like moving expenses, it's kind of hard to plan for, but our day-to-day habits are something that we do need to look at as well. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the debt, all of my debts. I'm going to go in order from the smallest debt to the largest debt. I'm also not including my husband's student loans here. That's something he's taking, full responsibility for paying off, and it's something that'll take a long time to pay off. So I'm not including those. Those are, I think, about $35,000 of student loans, $40,000. I'm not including student loans here. This is purely consumer debt. This is credit cards, one financing card, and not really a card, but a financing loan, and 2 cars that we're paying off. So in order of smallest debt to largest debt. So the smallest debt I have here, for lenders, I will just write dog loan. So this was probably not the most intelligent choice, but we really wanted a dog, and my kids were begging for a dog. So last year we bought a dog, and we financed the purchase of that dog, which was probably dumb. We love our dog. He is so cute, and he's a wonderful, addition to our family. We love him very much. I just wish that I hadn't made the choice to finance the purchase of our dog. Especially, I think we just did it in such a bad way. And when it came to that, I can't talk today. When it came to that, so our current total balance on the dog loan is $1,146.38. That is an interest rate right now of 0%. That's the first 12 months were 0% interest. That will expire soon, but I should have this paid off before we start accruing interest on it. I've been doing I think the minimum payment on this is like $232. However, I've been paying in much larger chunks of $535 per month, which is just a crazy amount for a dog, but we got him from a pet shop. If we could do it all again, I would probably look for a really reputable breeder who we could, meet all the puppies beforehand, and we would save up the money beforehand and pay it all in one lump sum. But in any case, this is how we wound up doing it. I'll have this paid off in about 2 more months with my monthly payments of $535. I think, let me double check. 1146 divided by 535. 2.1. Okay, I'll have to do 2 months, and the last month will be a little extra. But that is the smallest that we have, dog loan. Okay. The next largest loan was our balance transfer. And this was when we had the debt we ran up during COVID when my husband was out of work. I put that amount of money onto, I opened a balance transfer with a credit union at a very low interest rate. It was 0% interest rate card. And the current balance on this is, is $3,700. The current interest rate on this is 0%. After the 0% expires, it should go up to around 5% interest per year, which is not bad at all. And because of this is kind of my lower priority credit card debt. I hate having it, but compared to another debt coming up soon, this is not taking the most priority. So the minimum payment on this is $78 per month, but I usually pay $200 per month, just to kind of keep this balance going down while I'm directing most of my payments to the higher priority card. So this is just annoying leftover debt from old spending that happened, just living expenses over COVID, basically. The next smallest loan is actually my car loan number 1. And we bought this car back in 2018, and the current balance on this is $4,486.43. And really, it's annoying because if I got some of my other debts paid off, I could knock this out so fast. So anyway, we'll get there. The interest rate is 4.19%. The minimum payment on it, the minimum payment on this car loan is $274.91, and that is what I pay every month. I don't pay over the minimum. When we first bought the car, I did put a couple $1,000s down on it, and I used to pay a little over the minimum, but currently I'm just paying the minimum balance on that, and I'm fine with that for now. And then the next largest debt is the one that's bothering me the most. So this is my Amex Sky Miles card. Let me write that a little bit better. I don't know why it came out like that. Amex. So I opened this card when I was in college, and for some reason this card is the one I've been the most loyal to over the years. I always use this card, and I think my goal, or my intention, was to use it as a way to almost like a debit card that I would pay off to $0 every month just so I could get the Sky Miles. I've only managed to actually use it like that for only a couple months at a time, and then before you know it, I'm always racking up a balance, and I owe a balance on it, which is really frustrating. And even more frustrating is I just figured out that the interest rate on it is, you'll see, I hadn't paid attention to that, and it's still the same interest rate from when I was in college, so sky high. I do get the benefit of the miles on this card. When we moved, for instance, I was able to cover flights for a lot of my, myself, my kids, my husband drove all the way here. But so I feel like I was getting a benefit from it, but I think I will have to move off this card soon because of the interest rate. I just need to figure out what to do with this, but for now I'm trying to aggressively pay it off. I had it at $0 before we moved, and now after the move it is at a whopping $7,687, and I didn't write down the cents, but some cents, which is just so frustrating. Before we moved, I had saved up around $6,000. I wanted to make it to $10,000, but I only made it to $6,000 for moving expenses. And because we moved all the way across the country, as far as you could possibly get across the country, almost all of that money went directly to paying the movers and for transporting one of our cars on a car shipper truck. All of that was wiped out. And then I still had to pay for some new furniture because we didn't take a lot of our big heavy furniture with us, and we still had to pay that much for a move. So I wound up buying a sofa, bed frames, dressers, and little odds and ends for moving. And before you know, and I forgot to mention, I was able to take my job with me, but my husband was not, so he was also out of work for 2 months. And before you know it, the total just went way up. Now it's at 7,000. I really don't like this number. It's very stressful to me. And the interest rate, which is making it even worse, I just dug to find it because I was making this and I had just not thought about it, was 21.99% interest. And this is the card I use the most. So I am stupid. I'm dumb. That is really bad. I have really good credit. And this is just leftover from when I was in college. I had no credit history. I don't know why I'm still using this card. So I think I'm going to be looking for a new card that has like good cashback bonuses or something like that. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to break up with my Amex. I've called to have them reduce the interest rate a couple times in the past, not recently, but in like the past 5 years or so. And they have, but obviously that's just ridiculous. My minimum payment is like $181. However, okay, so last month this was even higher. It was like $10,000, and I paid $3,000 onto it, which is why it's currently at $7,687. So basically, I use this card for all of our, going to the grocery store, and then I pay it all off at the end of the month, which takes, after rent and after all my other debts are paid and my utilities are paid, I take the remainder and just lump it onto this card. So $3,000. Stressful, not fun, stressful. I make a pretty good salary, and my husband is working again, so I think we'll be able to get ourselves out of it. But to get ourselves out of this quickly, we really need to control our monthly living expenses. So one of my big goals is to kind of get on track with that because we have some habits we could improve on for sure. Then last but not least, and this is my biggest debt, but also doesn't stress me out as much as our second car. Car loan number 2. This is at a current balance of $19,700. We bought this car last year, a used car, and the current interest rate is 2.49%. And the minimum payment is $301.09. Yeah, and then that's always what I pay, $301.09. So obviously this card is my first priority to pay off, and I need to figure out what to do about this card moving forward. I don't think I can stay on this card. This is also my priority, paying this off quickly, because once this interest rate expires, it's going to go way up. I have no doubt that we can do that in the next couple of months. And once I pay this off, I'll have an extra $535 to throw at this. So I should be able to get back out of this really fast. And then this is number 3. And then this is number 4, this is number 5. So that is my kind of priority list here. And then this is all of my debt, and not including my husband's student loans, which is another 40 grand or so. Annoying. So I'll add it all up. 1146. I don't have any more student loan debts. I paid mine off a long time ago. 3,700 because I to not have to take out as many as he did. 43 plus 7,687 plus 19,700. So this brings us to a total debt of $36,719.81 of purely consumer debt. Yeah, $36,000 purely of consumer debt. Frustrating because, you know, we would definitely like to buy a house. And I have, you know, money in my 401k. I have some other savings accounts that I can go into in future videos to kind of get a sense of our total financial picture, not just the debt. But I don't feel comfortable buying a house or trying to put in an offer for a house at the moment. I really want to have a larger down payment saved up. I want to have an emergency fund saved up, and I don't want to have this hanging over my head. And yes, that's definitely my goal, is to kind of get out of this. I really want this to be the end of this cycle now that we're not living in, you know, super high cost of living area anymore. I'm really looking forward to kind of settling down into a good routine, figuring out the best way to use our money, the best way to grow our money, and the best way to get out of this cycle that we're constantly getting into of putting our living expenses on credit cards when we run out of, we don't have enough savings, we are not watching our budget at all. I don't really budget. I just kind of keep a mental track of the ballpark numbers we should be spending, and then when situations like this come up where we're moving, I just wind up going way overboard. Anyway, it's frustrating, and yeah, this is my debt, and I hope you could, if you want to follow along, you're more than welcome to. I'll probably be posting video every week or so going as we go into things, and I'm excited for doing this project, and I'm excited to meet everyone, and thank you for watching. Bye. Have a good day.